Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving straight into the sources to uncover how one man fundamentally redefined Indian cricket. Whether you're a diehard fan or just someone fascinated by elite human performance, you know the name Virat Kohli. But we aren't just going to look at what happened out there on the pitch, we're going to unpack exactly how it happened. And we've got to start right here. 85. Let that staggering number sink in for a second. It represents Virat Kohli's total international centuries. It's a jaw-dropping stat from Wikipedia that instantly grabs your attention, putting him in that ultra-elite echelon of the sport, second only to the great Sachin Tendulkar. It is literally the kind of number that defines an entire career. But today's explainer isn't just going to be a list of cricket scores. We're using the iceberg model to look at 1, the tip of the iceberg, 2, master of the chase, 3, a ruthless test leader, 4, the fitness revolution, 5, mental health and balance, and finally, 6, a legacy beyond numbers. Okay, let's jump in. Section 1, the tip of the iceberg, the statistical phenomenon.
So, Wikipedia data shows us exactly how those 85 centuries are spread out across his dominant career. He scored a record-breaking 54 centuries in one-day internationals, actually eclipsing his idol, Sachin Tendulkar. Add to that 30 in test matches leading up to his retirement from the red ball format in May 2025, and a single century in T20 internationals. Now, these numbers are just the tip of our iceberg. The real question is, how on earth did he accumulate them?
That brings us to Section 2, master of the chase, the classical approach. The independent notes are really fascinating contrast here. We live in an age where limited overs cricket is totally dominated by brutish sluggers taking high-risk shots, right? But Kohli, he relies on a meticulous, classical technique. Instead of just trying to muscle the ball over the boundary for a 6, he completely manipulates the field. He uses that supreme fitness of his to relentlessly scamper for 2s. He essentially takes the geometry of the field and breaks it down, completely bypassing that old conventional trade-off that scoring fast means taking massive risks. And the result of that classical approach? A staggering batting average of 64.30 when chasing formidable targets in ODIs. Even more astounding, 17 of those centuries came specifically when batting second. He didn't just score runs, he scored them when the pressure was at its absolute peak, basically recalibrating the art of the possible in limited overs cricket. But you have to wonder, where does that ice-cold focus actually come from? Well, this immense, single-minded focus was forged incredibly early. The sources highlight a defining moment when Kohli was just 18 years old. While playing a first-class match for Delhi, his father tragically passed away in the middle of the night. Mere hours later, Kohli was back on the pitch, channeling immense grief into unbreakable focus to bat on and save his team. It's a heartbreaking but incredibly profound look into the mental fortitude that would go on to define his entire career.
Moving to Section 3, a ruthless test leader, redefining India's mindset.
This bold quote from a 2021 Lord's Test brilliantly captures the high-octane, ruthless on-field persona he absolutely demanded from his squad. He said, for 60 overs, they should feel hell out there. I mean, he wasn't just playing to compete, he was playing to completely dismantle the opposition. He wanted his bowlers aggressive, his fielders electric, and the opposing batters incredibly uncomfortable. And ICC records show this aggression paid off big time. He is India's most successful Test captain ever. Under his leadership for 68 matches, India secured 40 wins. That's a phenomenal 58.82% win rate. He led the team to hold the #1 spot in the world for 5 straight years and secured India's first ever Test series victory on Australian soil. He literally re-engineered the team's entire winning mentality. Which leads us to Section 4, the fitness revolution, transforming the culture. The Indian Express highlights this massive cultural shift. They describe an older era of Indian cricket where even the all-time greats weren't exactly known for diving around the outfield. And, indulging in biryani was pretty much the norm. Kohli changed all of that. He ushered in a strict era of supreme athletic fielding, mandatory yo-yo fitness tests for the whole team, and famously swapped out the biryani for quinoa. He made everyone realize that talent alone fades if your body just can't keep up. And he led entirely by example. He didn't just compare himself to other cricketers, he aimed for the elite fitness of global athletes across all sports. After finding out his body fat was around 9%, he actually set a new target of 7.5%, specifically to match the elite conditioning of tennis star Novak Djokovic. He spent double the time in the nets and practically lived in the gym. proving that you only excel on the field if you're physically capable of enduring the brutal demands of modern sports.
Section 5. Mental Health and Balance. The Human Element.
Now, this is perhaps the most striking part of our explainer today. In a candid interview with the Indian Express, Kohli revealed the deep mental struggles that come with that unrelenting limelight. He said, "I personally have experienced times when even in a room full of people who support and love me, I felt alone." It is such a powerful reminder that high-performance athletes face incredibly isolating pressure. Despite millions of people cheering his name, the weight of expectation can really tear you apart. To combat this, he outlines a really clear 3-step strategy for young athletes, and honestly, for anyone facing high-stress environments. Step 1. Prioritize physical fitness and recovery to keep the body primed. Step 2. Keep in touch with your inner self. If you lose that connection, everything else crumbles. And Step 3. Compartmentalize your time. For Kohli, that meant unwinding with his family, indulging his love for travel, and enjoying his self-proclaimed status as a massive coffee connoisseur. Finding that balance is the only way to maintain your sanity. Finally, Section 6. A legacy beyond numbers. The ultimate goal. In an interview with Adam Gilchrist, Kohli made it incredibly clear. The numbers, the centuries, the riches, those are the absolute last things on his mind. His ultimate goal is to inspire the next generation to push towards everyday excellence. He wants to be remembered as the guy who empowered people to break their own mental and physical limitations and who permanently redefined dietary and training discipline for his country. If he can impact just one life in that way, he says, that's more than enough. And that brilliantly frames our conclusion today. As you take away these insights on classical technique, sheer discipline, and the absolute importance of mental resilience to apply to your own life, it leaves us with one final provocative thought. When the dust finally settles on this remarkable era of cricket, will history remember the 85 international centuries or the relentless, uncompromising culture of excellence he built? Thanks for joining me on this explainer. Keep learning, keep pushing those limits, and I'll catch you next time. Welcome.